guys, so today's 7 on Sunday. You know, before I even get into the video, look at the jumper that I made, guys. I like did the TikTok thing where you made like the Winter Soldier jumper. So I've got like my left arm as Bucky's like original arm, and this was like so much fun to make. And I love the star, and I love that I was able to do this. This is like my favorite thing right now. I love wearing this so much because I'm just like, it's Bucky, and I'm obsessed right now because of course I'm obsessed with Bucky right now. But for today's video, we're going to be doing a 7 on Sunday, and I actually haven't really been making any videos other than 7 on Sunday. So I am very glad to have this from Grace because Grace is the person behind 7 on Sunday. So as always, I do leave a link to her channel and the Goodreads group below so you can get all the new topics and everything and just keep up to date with everything. But honestly, I just have like no creative energy, so having these like scheduled themed videos has been really helpful to me. But I am hoping that in like the next couple of weeks / months I'm gonna have like more videos to do because I've got some like video ideas, but I just haven't done them yet, but I eventually will. But today we are going to be talking about books that we wished we loved, and it does happen all the time, especially when you go into a book expecting to really enjoy it because the hype's there and you think it's right up your alley, and then you read it and you just don't enjoy it as much as you thought you would, and you just wish that you could be in the fandom with peeps. But I guess we can't always like everything, same as how there's books that you end up really liking but everyone else is just like, yo, they are not good books. So all these books have been on lists of like books that I don't like or books that I wish were better or so and so. So like you're probably going to know all of them. And 2 of them I don't actually physically own because one I unhoard and another one was an audiobook I listened to that I just was never going to buy a copy because I didn't enjoy it. But I'm excited to get into this video. So the first one I'm going to talk about is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Like, I really thought I was going to enjoy this because everyone is always hyping it, everyone is always talking about it, and I know that a lot of people say you should read the second book because it does get better, but I still feel like it's not a great thing to start a series and just hate the first one. Like, I don't really like any of the characters, I don't really like the story, and it's just the way that they treated Jude with the bullying and stuff just like brings up stuff, and it's just like you're reading it and then I'm thinking about when I was bullied as a child, which is just not fun at all. But I thought that this would be right up my alley. It's a fantasy about fairies, like I do enjoy all the elements of this type of thing, it's just this story never worked for me and I just haven't been able to bring myself to actually continue on yet. Like, I have the whole trilogy because I just do that where I buy every single book ever, and that's why my TBR is so huge. But yeah, I'm just sad that I never ended up liking this. Another one you're gonna know is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I always thought that this was gonna be amazing, but to be honest, I don't actually really like love a lot of V.E. Schwab's works. Like, I enjoy them, but they've never been like in my favorites list of like, you know, all time. So when I was picking up A Darker Shade of Magic, I did think it was gonna get into that list though because everyone talks about it so highly. But I just can't get past how annoying Lila is and just how like thick and bland the story is. Like, it took me so long to get through the first 2 books, and I have the 3rd one but I haven't picked it up yet, and I kind of feel like I need to reread these series. And honestly, I just don't remember a lot from this book. So like, I just have this vague sense of just not liking it, but I really wish I did because I feel like it would just make everything easier. The next book I want to mention is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. Again, another one that was really hyped up, and I know a lot of people love this book, but I just couldn't get into it, and it really annoys me because it's got like Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes, even though like the Zuko character that they were trying to implement was just dumb, and the relationship is dumb. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I just am not a fan of. Like, I don't mind like her brother and his whole thing that he's doing with that chick, I can't remember her name, but I do want to reread this because, as you guys will probably know, I read this at a weird time where it took me a very long time because I was focusing on other things. So it could potentially just be for the fact that I just was the wrong time to read the book. But I do own the sequel, but I have not read that yet, and there's been no hype for the sequel. Like, everyone was talking about this book forever, and then the hype died, and I don't even know, like, is there going to be a 3rd book? Like, there's no information, I think. Like, no one is really keeping up to date with this. I just wished this was on like all of my favorite lists, but it sadly isn't. Okay, so the next book I want to talk about is the audiobook I listened to, and that is What I Like About You by Marissa Cantor. So I read this book last year, I'm definitely sure it was last year, and I was so excited because I thought this was going to be like an ode to like book bloggers and book fun and just everything that I do in person to read a book about it. But it was so incredibly dumb, and it pisses me off so much because whenever a book about reading or being a booktuber or a bookstagrammer or a book blog or whatever doesn't do what I want it to do, it just makes me even more mad, and that's why I'm so sad, because I wanted to love this so much. But the book basically has it that this main character has this online persona, but she's nothing like that in real life, and then she moves to this small town, and then the guy that she has been friends with for literally years randomly is in this town and lives there, and then she decides to not tell him who she is and lie the whole entire time. Like, there is no excuse for what she did, and honestly it's these situations where like, they find out that they've been hiding this big secret, and in the end they're like, oh yeah, but love perseveres. Like, I don't understand how you could like trust this, because you've basically met this person and decided to like kind of know them, and then the whole entire thing's just been a complete lie. Like, it's just something that I don't think you could come back from, and it just, oh god, this book pissed me off so much. I went into way bigger depth of my feelings of this book in my book review, because like I couldn't believe how much this annoyed me. And the other book that I really wish that I liked was Scarlet by A.C. Gorgon. And I remember the year that I read Scarlet, I also read Reign the Earth, and Reign the Earth was my favourite book of the year, and then Scarlet was my least favourite book of the year. Same author. So that's a weird correlation there, because like, man, I really was excited for this series. I was excited to read this Robin Hood like retelling. I bought the whole trilogy, and then the whole entire book was so annoying. It had a very annoying love triangle. The characters made dumb decisions. The main character was just so annoying, and the writing was so bad that like you're just trying to read it and it's just jumbled mess. It was just not good. It was very not good, and it's a retelling, so I assumed it would be something I would enjoy, but no. It was just painful, and it upset me a lot how much I didn't enjoy my experience. And I have another review for that as well, which is full of just complaints. I was fired up the day that I filmed that review. Like, honestly, it was just such a bad book, and I was just so overwhelmed by how bad it was. Okay, next I want to talk about Uprooted by Naomi Novak, and this wasn't like necessarily an awful book, but I just expected more from it, because I really do love Beauty and the Beast retellings. They are one of my absolute favorite fairy tales to have a story of it being retold, and I just could not connect with the characters. I didn't really like how it was going. I thought it was very slow, and I just wished that I loved this as much as everyone else seems to. And it took me forever to read, and honestly I feel like this put me into a reading slump. Like, I always thought that I was doing good, and then I will read a certain book and it just slumps me again, and that's so annoying, because now I'm scared because I don't know what to pick to read in case it makes me slumpy, because I just never know. But I just feel that like, yeah, the whole thing was just very odd, and like where the story ended from where it started was just, yeah, it's just weird. And the last book I want to talk about is Akane by Lynette Noni. So this is a very popular book among like Aussie booktubers, and I was so excited to pick this up, and again I bought the whole series because I'm stupid, and I've read this first book and I just felt like this was very like kind of juvenile and not very fun, and I just don't know how to feel, because like I read it and it was okay, but I also feel like I've read this book 100 times before and I really wish I would love it. And I know that a lot of people again have said to me, you need to keep going with the series because it does get better, but it's just such a chore to have to push through crap until it gets better, and I just wish I loved it from the first book so that I could be invested. And over the years I've seen a lot of different opinions about this book, so I feel like it's one of those ones where I'm just gonna have to like go with my gut and hope for the best, and I will eventually read Rayleigh. It will happen, but I just wish I had more love for this book. Like, it would make everything so much easier. I feel like the sucky thing though is it's just like the lost potential that these books could have had, in my opinion, because as I said, a lot of people love these. These aren't hated books, but they're just books that just didn't connect with me in the way that I wish that they did, and it just makes me really sad. But anyway guys, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, and I will definitely see you guys next time. Like, I don't know if it's going to be another 7 on Sunday or I'll actually have some other content. I am going to see Hamilton, but by the time this video uploaded I would have already seen Hamilton, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to vlog my experience because like I'm very excited. I want to get the memories there and just like it's happening. Well guys, that is all from my video today. Like, I honestly just can't stop looking at the star. Like, I'm so glad with how this like turned out. Like, it just felt, so it's probably gonna fall apart the first time I wash my jumper, and my stitching is kind of atrocious, but like I'm just very proud of this. I made a whole TikTok about it. I was just like, making a Winter Soldier jumper. I'm like never gonna take it off. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.